Hey, what's up everyone? I've been noticing a lot of news regarding the Yellowstone Super Volcano in my Google News feed. Not only there, but I've been noticing the news circulating quite a bit online in various places, whether it be on Twitter or various videos on YouTube, not just in my Google News feed, but just on Google News in general. So what they're stating right now is quite a bit of news about the Yellowstone Super Volcano. Right now, Yellowstone volcano eruption. They're worried about the fact that millions of individuals are trapped in the kill zone of hot ash and lava. And the Yellowstone volcano, this map, the caldera map, shows the United States covered in volcanic ash. They have warnings of various scenarios or these situations that could play out if this volcano were to erupt. A Yellowstone volcanic eruption would be the most catastrophic natural disaster to strike the modern world. Volcanologists have warned, as this terrifying Yellowstone caldera map shows now, to reveal the true event of damage the United States would actually suffer. The Yellowstone volcano rumbles away in the heart of the Yellowstone National Park at a towering elevation of 2,804 meters. The active volcano is one of the largest on this planet and typically rears its ugly head once every few million years or so, according to scientific documentation. Now, the volcanologists have tracked Yellowstone's past eruptions 2 million to 1.3 million and 630,000 years ago. They fear another eruption might be overdue. Now, this has been widely known. I've known this for a while, and I've suspected this kind of thing for a while, but it's making its rounds online again. This is why scientists have attempted to forecast the extent of damage that a Yellowstone eruption would incur today and get this information out there. And the results are terrifying, obviously. A Yellowstone eruption simulation given yesterday, published in the Journal of Geochemistry, Geophysics, and the Geosystems by hydrologist Larry Maston, revealed upwards of 1 meter of volcanic ash would blanket areas surrounding the volcano. The study reads the following: "We simulated eruptions lasting 3 days, 1 week, and 1 month, each producing 330 kilometers or kilometers of volcanic ash, dense rock equivalent, DRE, or dense rock equivalent." There's a lot going on outside today, but anyway, results. Kind of weird, I'm talking about an emergency and the siren goes by, but the results demonstrate the radial expansion of the umbrella cloud is capable of driving ash upward, westward, and crosswind in excess of 1,500 kilometers, producing more or less radically symmetric isopachs that are only secondarily modified by ambient wind. Deposit thickness are decimeters to meters in the northern Rocky Mountains, centimeters to decimeters in the northern Midwest, and millimeters to centimeters on the east, west, and Gulf coasts. And the following map that you see right here is the map of distance, showing the distance of this eruption and its effects. This is how far-reaching the effects would be as far as ash thickness. I'll let you check that out right here. This shows the ash thickness based on your location in the United States. Now, European maps accompanying the study suggest not one part of the U.S., save the southernmost tips of Florida and Texas, are safe from ash fallout. So pretty much the entire United States is dramatically affected by this ash. Florida and Texas, the southernmost parts, are about the only the only parts that would not be majorly affected. Now, the heaviest volcanic downfall would immediately cover vast swaths of Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming. Further out, the thickness of ash begins to decrease, but it is not until Texas, Illinois, and Arkansas that the thickness drops to between 1 centimeter and 3 millimeters. The study published in September of 2014 warned Yellowstone could create a nuclear winter of sorts by shocking out the skies with thick ash, basically blocking out the sun and creating that nuclear winter situation. Now, obviously, what I just stated earlier, I'm just repeating that they believe that Yellowstone last erupted roughly 640,000 years ago, and this volcano, super volcano, sitting on top, well, situated in Wyoming and Montana, sits atop this huge reserve of magma. So that's a dangerous situation just waiting to take place there. The resulting volcanic fallout could be lethal to crops and livestock, threatening to plunge the U.S. into a food shortage crisis, and the problems would not end there. The study warned that ashfall and thickness of centimeters throughout the entire American Midwest would disrupt livestock and crop production, especially during critical times in the growing season. Now, this particular place in Oregon stated that we think Yellowstone is currently on a third cycle, and it's a dying cycle. But these deposits could threaten. They stated this deposits, but it should be these deposits could threaten building integrity and obstruct sewer and water lines, and basically it would obstruct our grid and just our way of life, our modern way of life altogether. Electronic communications and the air transmission would likely be shut down throughout North America. Now, this is another map here. They're not expecting a blast anytime soon, but you never know. You never can tell. This is just what the scenario that would play out if Yellowstone were to erupt. If it was to happen just recently, or I mean not just recently, but if it were to happen in modern times, in our current time. You can see the map there. There's another map here. All these ads keep popping up. There seem to be more ads than there has ever been that I ever remember all over websites. I'm trying to maximize it, trying to make it larger where you can see just the words only instead of all the advertisements. These ads get annoying. Anyway, Yellowstone eruption. It could disable global climates, destabilize and disable our communications, obviously, in our modern way of life, the grid, quote unquote. But the volcano's eruption could also destabilize global climates. The study further suggests Yellowstone's eruption could be felt even further out beyond the U.S., leading to major climate effects around our world, or this world we live. It's not technically our world, we're just living in it, so, I mean, I wouldn't call it our world. But the last major supervolcano eruption of Tambora in Indonesia, in that area, infamously led to the so-called year without summer, when snow covered the U.S. in June and dying crops led to a severe famine. Thankfully, there is no direct indication the supervolcano was on the brink of an imminent eruption, even though there has been a slight increase in activity recently. According to this particular professor, Iya or Iya Bendeman. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not. I'm doing my best there. Associate Professor of Geological Sciences at the University of Oregon. Yellowstone is unlikely to erupt within our lifetime, but you never know. So there's a survey here that you can answer. Should we be worried about the Yellowstone volcano? And there's 3 answers that you can answer there. Obviously, yes, anyone should be concerned about any type of possible scenario that could play out. But he said we know the behavior of the past, and we know what comparative stage Yellowstone volcano is in right now. We think the Yellowstone is currently on a 3rd cycle, and it's a dying cycle, but we've observed a lot of material that represents the cycle, the volcanic rocks, which were once buried inside of the calderas and are now getting recycled. Yellowstone has erupted enough, and this material already suggests that the future melting potential of the crust is getting exhausted. At least that's what they're stating here. So I will post the link to this website, or this web page actually, where you can check it out and read this for yourself. So I send much love to you all. I don't know if I'm done with the video yet, but I do send much love. There's a lot of volcanic news, really. Lightning has been seen over the Japan's so-called, they call it the James Bond volcano because it was a volcano seen in the James Bond film. And the Kilauea volcano has been erupting quite a bit lately as well. And lightning has been seen, like I just mentioned, over that Japanese volcano. Let's see what other news. Lots of volcanic news taking place. Let's check the actual Google News section. But they are giving out warnings for people to be aware of the possibilities of Yellowstone, the Yellowstone Super Volcano for any kind of possible eruption. So there's been quite a bit of activity, volcanic activity worldwide. That's not the only volcano that we have to be concerned about in this world. There are hundreds of active volcanoes right now along the Ring of Fire that are showing signs of activity. So just lots of volcanic news here. You can check this out. I just decided to do an update video on Yellowstone Super Volcano. So I send much love, and I thank you for watching, and I hope the best, and I send much love and peace. I will leave the link to the article that I just read in the description below. What they were worried about was hundreds of bison were dead as well. 1,000 bison were seen leaving the park. I believe they also killed several bison to thin out the population as well, which apparently they do quite commonly. I am going to go ahead and show you some of the images and video of the volcano erupting in Japan, which was spewing hot rocks and producing lightning. So this is another one of the images of the volcano in Japan, and this is a dramatic image of the volcano with lightning in it. So quite interesting there. Quite a bit of eruptions taking place worldwide, and just a lot of news to cover. This has been part of it, and I thank you for watching, and I send much love and hope for the best, and say to you all. This has just been an update video regarding what they are stating. I've seen this in my Google News feed so much that I decided to make a video about it, so I send much love. Peace. Bye.